Afternoon, I'm David Scott. Federal investigators are in Llano County looking at a fatal plane crash. We first told you about it last night at 9 and 10. The pilot was from Houston, flying his vintage aircraft near the Shirley Williams Airport. That's just north of Kingsland. Witnesses tell KXAN the man was showing the plane to a potential buyer when it crashed. Now, folks who lived near the crash are wondering what's next.
We didn't hear any engine noise. We just heard the thud when it hit the ground.
Leonard Woody said he was sitting at his kitchen table when he heard the crash outside.
I heard what I thought was a car crash in the street beside me, and my son ran out and came back in and told us there'd been a plane crashed.
Just before 7 Saturday night, the Piper J3 was taking off from Shirley Williams Airport near Kingsland when something went wrong. The plane went down immediately.
At least one witness saw the aircraft on the north end of the runway in a nose-down dive and saw it immediately hit the ground.
NTSB investigators on the scene Sunday morning say the plane hit at a 75-degree downward angle. The pilot from Houston was killed immediately. The crash seems to impact everyone in the neighborhood near the airstrip.
Almost everybody around this runway, they belong to a aircraft association, and all of them own aircraft, and several of them are vintage aircraft.
Investigators say the pilot had more than 300 hours of flight experience. A preliminary report should be out in about a week, and a more thorough report is expected in about 6 months. Now, this was the second fatal plane crash in Llano County in as many weeks. 2 weeks ago yesterday, flight instructor Scott Belt and student Bobby Luker Jr. were doing touch and goes when their small plane crashed just short of the Llano Municipal Airport, killing them both. The FAA says it could take up to a year to determine the cause of that crash.